Hello.
Hi.
So shall we start? Yeah. So we'll take the question in the last so that we'll start with it and then we can take up the questions on that, right?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Hi Amit, I have a question that is not related to the assignment, but the things that you have taught yesterday. So yesterday, when you were saying about the sales of bike, I mean the sales for 2018. So you mentioned that the amount will not change. I mean, even if we filter it by year. So if we go to 2019, the sales of Australia would remain the same. But if
So,
I'm going to
so sales of bikes will change with
no
respect
sales,
to year, with
yeah,
respect
sales
to
2018 I'm talking about, not sales of bike.
uh,
I made that
hmm.
mistake. So if I'm filtering that on the basis of year, and if I say 2019, then that's
Hmm.
okay. 2018 sales is not affected. But if I click on 2017, the numbers differ. Is it because there is no sales in Australia in the year 2017? That's why it's like omitting the fact.
Numbers. Can you share your screen?
Yes, I'll do that. So here, if I
Hmm.
click on 2019, the amount doesn't change. Okay. But if I click on 2017, Australia is gone. I mean, the details of that country is not over there. Maybe because it doesn't have a value, but total is there. So, I mean, it could have shown null value or something like that, blank value.
Well, it is because in 2017 you didn't have the data of Canada only. There was no data itself. So that is what is coming as the blank.
Yes, I mean, for Australia, there is no data for that. But for 2018, it is there. It's there for
But because
2018. So,
no, but actually what is happening is when you are making that selection, so the entire table is getting impacted, right? Like it's acting like a filter. So suppose if you now put up a filter over here, right? If you now put a filter of country also, if you say Australia, so it will show the data of only Australia, right? Because although sales 2018 is available for all the years, but you have made such a filter that only that particular data will be visible. So that is why it doesn't show it,
okay, but
right?
the total will be shown. I mean, even if I go to 2017, the total remains the same
So
here.
it
It
remains the
remains
same,
the same.
yeah, right. So that doesn't change.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm, thank you.
Just give me 1 second, please. Nothing. Um, can anyone do one thing? Just can you share this file with me over the chat? I think by mistake I didn't save that yesterday's file. It has got closed from my end. You can just share it over this Zoom chat. That will help.
Are you able to open that file, Amit? I don't know. Somehow I'm not able to open it.
The measures fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's opening up. Yeah.
I think I posted wrong file, Amit.
No, this is the one of measures I can see is.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Right. So let's start from here. See, what we'll be doing today is the thing we're going to start from here is. So now I will be telling you about something called as states, right? That how does the what I will say is like Power BI works with the dates now. That is what we are going to talk about over here. So for that, just a second. So like yesterday we saw sales settings, social meeting, and those things. So see, now you know what happens is like whenever you actually load any of the data in the Power BI, so you all would have noticed, right, that there is a date hierarchy that gets automatically created, right? There's a date hierarchy that we get, that this is what we have. So what happens in that case is like when you have the date hierarchy, so this is something automatically getting created. And how does that gets created is because there is a auto time intelligence function. So there is a time intelligence functionality that we have which gets automatically applied on that field, right? So if you go on the file, click on options and settings and go on the options. Okay, you have to come into the data load over here. In the data load, please all of you come up. There you will find this option coming up. This auto time intelligence. See, what this option is, basically this option says that if you have any date field, so what Power BI will do is it will automatically create a date table on it. If you just hover your mouse on it, it shows you that it automatically creates a hidden table for each field in the model that has a date or a date time data type. So there is a date table, there is a hidden table that gets created in the backend. Okay. So now what you want is, suppose what if I want over here now is that this table that we are creating over here, I mean, if you uncheck this, so what will happen is that date table will not be created. So just click OK on this. So So you will observe that hierarchy is gone, right? Why is that hierarchy gone? Because now Power BI is not creating any date table in the memory. It is the table is now not there. So the idea is, like suppose if you are using a table, you are using a data set in which you have 5 date fields. Suppose you have order date, return date, delivery date. There are a lot of dates inside that. So what will happen is Power BI will create multiple date tables, right? If multiple date tables are created, they will definitely impact the memory, right? Every table is going to take some memory in the Power BI file. Now there will be multiple files, so each table will take some memory when the table gets created. So what we do is we actually turn that feature off. We actually turn that feature off. But when you turn that feature off, what happens in that case is we actually lose the power of doing some time calculations. So like if you have to calculate previous month sales, last year sales, YTD sales, you won't be able to do it because now what will happen is this Power BI won't be able to understand the dates over there. So what we do is, as a best practice, we what we do is we uncheck that option, and then what we do is we create our date tables manually, right? So what I can do now is I can create my own date table, and how can I create the date table is I have two functions for that. The two functions are one is calendar function and one is calendar auto. So these are the two functions that we have got. Okay, so calendar and calendar auto. So let's just try them out now. So all of you please now click on insert and click on new table. Over here, click on sorry, not in insert, modeling. Click on modeling and click on new table. So now we are creating our own date table. So we can create the date table with the help of our functions also. So with the help of a DAX, we can create an entire table if we want. So if I now say over here date table, I will use the function calendar. In the calendar function, what we do is we just give starting date and ending date. I am saying suppose I want the dates starting from 1st of Jan 2017 to 31st of December 2020. Now what will happen is there is a table that will be created. I'll just show you that you can make this function as well. So now you will see a date table is created. If I go in the data view, I will be able to see it. See, I have the date table. And you can see in this, I have all the dates starting from 1st Jan to 31st December. The dates that I gave manually. So please, all of you make this table first.
Amit, In this calendar function, right, can I use other DAX functions like first date and last date instead of start and end date from my data set?
How
Can
you
I
can
build
use
my
that?
own table?
You can use that. When you give the starting date, you can give that date over there, like which date, first date of a
Yeah.
particular column and last date of a particular column. You can do that.
Okay.
But technically, what we do is we never use this function. This is just I was showing you. We
Okay.
actually use the calendar auto function. Now this is an automatic function. What this will do is, so if instead of using calendar, if I use calendar auto, okay. So now calendar auto function, if you just close this, it doesn't take any input. It won't take any input from you. What this will do is it will actually read all the data sets in this Power BI file. Whatever data sets you have loaded in this Power BI file, it is going to read all of them. And from there, it will identify the minimum year, right? It will find the minimum year and the maximum year. It is going to find these two things, minimum year and maximum year. Suppose minimum year is 2017 and maximum year is 2020. So it will generate all the dates between 2017 to 2020. And this is updatable function. If tomorrow you get a data of 2021 also, it will then include the dates of 2021 as well. Okay. Right. So now see if you will use this calendar auto. If I use that, just update that function, you will see now the table is getting changed over here. And now if you will see the data view, calendar auto gives you automatic dates between those two dates over here. Right. So now in this date table, right? So what we are doing is we are creating our own date table. So you will select this table, right? And you click on this table, you will find table tools, and you will have to mark this table as date table. Okay, you just selected mark as date table, click on date and click on OK. So you already just do these questions now. In date table, you have to create these columns and a relationship between date table and training sample. Hello? Yep, done everyone?
Yeah, just a question. I use the format function, right, in order to get the month name.
Right.
Yeah, I used date column in the, see, I used format of date table name followed by the date column. I gave the format. It is working fine. Whereas if I give the month column, because I already extracted the month number, right? If I give that month number column, it is not working.
No, so you have extracted month number and month, right?
Yeah.
So what you do is you extract the month number.
Yes.
That will be month of this date table date.
Date table. Yeah.
Okay. Now what happens is, like, if you create a new column again,
Okay.
remember in the Excel I have told you the concept of dates, that dates are stored as a number,
Number. Yeah.
right? So this date will be stored as one number,
Okay. Okay.
and when you are giving input as this number, so this
Okay.
becomes another date, right? So if you say now month name over here, and you say month name equal to format,
Format. Yeah.
and you give month number over here, right? And you say you want to
Format.
extract.
Yeah.
So that number that you are giving is now different. That is this. But date has a different number that would be this. So this number was what we were looking out to extract the month from. But we
Yeah.
actually gave this number. That is why you will see that option that you will get, or the month that you will get over here, won't be correct. It's
Yes.
giving you
Yes.
this
I
number.
got like this only December. It is not giving the correct result. Yeah.
Right. So if you give date, then it will definitely pick that up, because now it is getting the date
Yeah.
where the month will be Jan.
Okay. And in the data model, right, I tried to map year to year. I'm just getting an error.
Many to many. So that many to many relationship you don't create, right? So you will actually create number with a date field, date to date, date to sales date. Year something you will not. I mean, year to year is like many
Oh,
to many.
yeah.
Years are if you make the year also, let me make the new column.
Yeah, I created that column as well. I tried to map year to year, but I'm getting an error like circular dependency.
So that will not be created basically.
Okay.
So of this date table date. So you have all the dates now over here. Now what we do is we go in the relationship. Now the two tables that I have, now I need to create a relationship between the two. So this is sales date,
Yeah.
and I'll come over here, date to sales date. So this will be a relationship that we will be creating. This is one to many. Every date is coming only once and many times over here. So we get that. So now what we will be doing is, like, basically whenever if we will make any time interest calculation, that we will do. In that scenario, what we will do is we will be picking up the date field from here and the calculations from here, because now this is something I have told Power BI that this is a date table, right? So if you see this symbol is also coming, that this is a date table now. Basically, any time invariance calculation that we are supposed to do, the date field has to be picked up from here. I hope all of you are able to do it.
That every key is like a primary key in the date table. Can we treat like that?
Sorry.
The date table, everything should be come via date table. You said that, right? Is it like primary table? Yeah.
So we can sort of call it as a main, because you know what happens is when you define any table as a date table, so now Power BI understands what years are, what months are, what previous year months, what previous YTD anything that you will do, you will get all the options for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now what we will do over here is, now I want all of you, so in fact we'll have to make it. So see, this is that you just have to try it out. Now you have to, like over here, you have calculated the sales of 2018. Now I want to calculate the sales over here between 2 dates. That is 2015. Suppose I am saying I want to calculate the dates between 1st May 2017 to 15th May 2017. Right? So I want to just calculate the dates between 2 dates. So how will I do that? Is I'll create a new measure. And let's call it as 15th of 1st May to 15th May equal to, I'm going to use dates between. Okay, dates between, sorry, not sales between directly, sorry. First we use calculate. I want to use calculate, and I'm saying calculate sum of sales and then we use dates between. So we have function dates between. And in the dates between, now I will use date field, and I am saying my starting date is 1st of May 2017, comma 15th of May 2017. And this is going to give me the sales between these two dates. So please make this. Yep, you're able to make it.
Yeah, is it like finding the sum of sales between these date range?
Correct, correct. So she will now bring that field. What went wrong? Sales between 1st May. Oh, actually, I have a pattern filter to 180. Right? So now it gives me the sales between those two dates. So between those two dates, sales happened only in Canada and US. I hope all of you are able to make it. Right. So now this kind of a calculation is something that you are very less likely to make, right? I mean, like given 2 dates. Something that you will use very often is that will be sales in last 7 days. Right? This is something that you will be using a lot to do the calculation. Sales in the last 7 days. So how do I make that? So let me make a new measure over here. Let me call it as last 7 days. right? Sales in the last 7 days. How will I calculate it? I'm going to say calculate sum of sales. Again, now I'm going to use dates between. The field is date, that date field that I'm using, comma. Now, if I say today, starting date is today minus 7 and ending date is today. So don't you think that this formula will become dynamic, that it will, I'm saying starting date is from today, go 7 days back up till today. So it will add up the sales for the last 7 days for me, right? The starting date is today minus 7, today minus 7 days, and ending date is today. Okay. So now we will bring this field, right? If you bring this field in this table, please bring this last 7 days. Will I get any data in this? Will I get any numbers? Yep. I will not get any numbers because I don't have the data of last 7 days, right? There is no data in there. Because the data, if you will see in the file, I just have the data only up till 31st of April 2020. And I'm trying to calculate the sales in last 7 days, which the data is not there. So that is why I cannot get anything over here.
Today's means it takes system date, right? Current
Yes.
system date. Okay.
Yes, it is the current system date. So now what we do is, let's add a new sheet over here. You can all add a new page. And in this new page, what we will do is we are going to make a matrix, right? In this matrix, just bring the column of year and month. And please make sure that year and month comes from the date table. I'll bring the year and the month name. Okay, please make this. So if you make this chart over here, month and the sales, and let's change the sorting over here, that the sorting should be on the basis of month, sort by month. not this one. This one. Yeah. So now if you want to create, are you able to make this up till here?
Yeah.
Okay. See, now this is the current month sales, right? Like in April, this was the sale. May, this was the sale. June, this was the sale. I can see all the sales over here. Now, what I want to do is I want to calculate the previous month sales, right? Like in April, this was the sales in month. This was the sales. So what should happen is I should be able to compare month May sales with April, so that I can find the difference and I can find it whether I was doing better in the next month or I did bad in the next month. So what I can do is again I'm going to create a new measure. If you come over here in modeling and you create a new measure. Now this new measure will be something where I will use, I will call it as previous month, and I will say previous month over here. I will say I always just calculate sum of sales, comma previous month of what? Previous month of date table date. That's it. So when you use previous month function, now this is a time intelligence function. It will be able to understand which is the previous month. Okay. So if you now bring this previous month field over here, you will be able to compare the sales. See, so we can see now the sales current month and the previous month.
Oh, it's like May is comparing with April and June is comparing with May. Likewise.
Yes, yes.
Okay, because I got confused at first. Okay.
Right. So what you can actually do is you can just come to the formatting part of this, and you can change the display units if you want. If you think the sales is coming little big numbers, you can just change it to millions and all, so that the numbers come to look better. And same way you can select the previous month also, change it into millions, so the numbers look more realistic like this, right? come into the formatting part and do the field formatting. And then you will also find the options of alignment and all. So you want to align it in the center. So we can do the center alignment as well. Can you find the difference between the two now? Just create a measure to find the difference between sales and previous month sales. Yep. Anyone made it? So I will simply say new measure. Let me got it as difference. I will say sum of sales. Yeah, it's right. Sum of sales minus previous month, right? So I could have used total sales also that I made. That would have also given me the same thing. I can use the total sales also. So if you bring the difference over here now, see now I get a difference here with respect to the previous one. So I think this is where I'll take a pause for today. So I can just discuss the questions that you may have, and even if like people you have some questions from the yesterday's exercise, so I can discuss that.
Yeah, just 2 minutes. Let me connect from Windows. No, I can't able to share my screen. It says others are
Okay.
shared.
Yeah, now you can do it. Hmm. Hello.
Sorry, I was talking on unmute. See, I removed some of the fields, Amit, blank rows. Even though I have filtered out the blank rows, so I don't know why it is showing me in these visuals.
This would be coming due to some join that you have made, right? That relationship that you would have created due to that it would be coming. So you are bringing cancel units quite. See, because the data is
Yeah,
coming from.
even it came in slicer also. I have excluded that. I have right click and I have excluded in slicer, but I couldn't do. Is there any option? Can I hide these blank values in my visuals?
Just on the chart only, like on the right side, filters on this in the visual, right? Center. No, click on the chart
Yeah, filters. Yeah.
over here. So click on city tier and select all and uncheck that blank.
Okay. But it is showing correct only technically. Is that right?
Sorry?
No, the visual is correct technically.
Otherwise visual is correct. Yeah.
Okay. And one more thing is like, even though, see, I made a relation among these tables as per the requirement you gave in the assignment.
Hmm.
And in this card, right, even though I link these two tables via a field name named Old City. If I try to pull the count from both the tables, why it is showing different? This occurs or is it technically wrong?
I think there is some null or something is coming that is creating a problem like this. So you are saying
Okay.
cities region table, you are picking the count and
Yeah. See, for this visual, right? From the city tier table, I am just pulling this and I made it distinct count. Here, I'm pulling the old city. From this region table, I have made the distinct. So I still wonder why it is happening.
can you check the counts over there? You can just go in the table once, go in the data view and then click on the table.
Yeah.
Right now click on that city name, it's the city hold.
Yeah.
You have 2128 rows. Okay. Go to the second table from where you are picking the second data over there. City hold, right? It has, so there is one value that is less. So
Yeah.
over there you have 2127. So the data is such, I mean, there is just one record of mismatch that you are getting.
So how could I find that the mismatch
At the
record?
bottom, if you see now at the bottom of this screen, in that column it is telling you there are 2127.
Yes, 2127. Yeah, the count.
So the data is little mismatch. So there is a mismatch in the data itself. So your calculation is correct.
Okay.
It's just that in one table you have more records and another table there
Okay.
one record is less.
Okay. So visual, technically it's correct then.
Yes.
And one last question, Amit. Yeah. See, you asked to calculate the starting week, right? I have just created a measure. Yeah, I just surfed in Google and I came with some answer. This is the previous measures. Why they are adding this +1? I got the concept actually, because in this data, the order date, I got this order number. Why it is giving us 4 is like this particular format starting from Sunday. So the day 1 is Sunday. I have extracted, this is my calculated column. I have extracted the month and I have extracted the day number. It is showing us 4 since it is starting from Sunday, right?
Yeah. So now what you've
Okay.
done is you have actually calculated the order number starting from Monday, right? You see the next
Yeah,
column.
this one I have started, yeah, from Monday. My
Monday,
question, yeah, sorry.
So what we're doing over here is now what you do is if you subtract from that date,
Yes,
from that
yes.
date, what we are doing is you see in that formula you are saying, click on that formula of that week day start. Click on that,
Yeah.
right? So you are saying sales date minus sales order number week, right? That is minus.
Yeah, I
3.
have changed that date because the question was asked in likewise. The day should start from Monday.
The week we have to give the starting week of the day.
Yes,
Starting
yes.
week, right, for each.
Yeah,
So what you are doing is you are actually just subtracting 3 from there. It
yeah.
is taking you 1 day back. It is taking you 1 day behind. That is
Yeah,
why you are adding
because my original data set is likewise. It is starting from Sunday.
because your data set is starting from Sunday. So
Okay.
it takes 3 days back. So it takes you to Sunday over there. That is why you
Okay,
add
yeah.
1 to it that you can come back to the Monday now.
Okay, should I give the +1 here or after subtracting at the end, should I give the +1 there?
It won't make a difference. You can do it anyway.
Okay.
Because it's a mathematical BODMAS rule, it will apply. So if it will add and subtract, so you can put it anyway.
Okay, and one more question, Amit. Create a field for this particular calculation. What does it mean? Is it a measure? Is it a calculated column?
Which one?
No, in the questions, you have asked like create a field for this week number, create a field. In generic way, does it mean a calculated column or a measure?
Column.
Column, okay. Because I have did everything in calculated column, thought of asking. Yeah, that's it. I have, that's it.
But I grade you were able to do it and you have done all the questions.
Can we have more assignment like this so that we can get a better understanding of calculated columns measures in this DAX?
Sure, I'll do that. I'll share it.
Amit, can you explain that 3.7, that ordered week, that question? I can paste that question in the chat.
Sorry?
The last question in that assignment.
Yeah, I don't have. So, Deepa, can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
Just now you explained, right, that question.
This one?
Or the last one, right? Before that relationship one.
Relationship.
No,
The
before
3.7. The
Yeah,
3.7 question.
that's-
Yeah, this is the one, start of the week.
So what we do is basically what you're doing is like you have the week date over here, right? So can you just order, Deepa, can you just come to this column over here, this order date, the sales date, the first column, where you have the date in the first column.
Sorry, the order.
The data view only just say the order.
Yeah.
Yes. So you see now, this is the date that you have. Okay, so if you remember, we had a function that we studied that was weekday. In that weekday, when you put 1, it counts from Sunday, right? That Sunday will be 1, Sunday will be 1, Monday will be 2, Tuesday will be 3. And now if you count from Monday, right? Because you want Monday as your to be as the first day. So when you count from Monday, so it gives you the count as Monday as 1, Tuesday as, right? This is what you get the count. Monday as 1, then Tuesday as 2, and Wednesday as 3. Right? That is the count that you get. So what we did was we had extracted that start date, the weekday number in comparison to that, in comparison to that, the date that is given to you. So if I am on in Wednesday, that number is coming as 3, that 1, 2, and 3, correct?
Yes.
So then what you do is, if I just subtract those many days from that date, I will actually go back to the Monday, right? Because I am trying to find what will be the date on Monday. So that is why what we are doing is, from that order date, we are subtracting those number of days that we have passed since that date on the Monday that we had. So the date that we had on Monday, the number of days that we have passed, we have what we have calculated with the help of order number of weeks, like which four people and T by that column that you have order day number one start, Monday start. So that is what we are subtracting it. Like, because you are Wednesday, what you have to do is you have to go a couple of days back to get that Monday, right? Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. That is how you subtract the numbers. So that is what you are doing. So when you're subtracting 3 from the Wednesday, so you are actually reaching one. If you go back 3 days, right? So you get Tuesday, Monday, and Sunday. You actually reach to the Sunday. So you actually have to add +1 to it. That is what we are doing in this formula, so that we get the Monday date. Getting it? Hello, Divya and
Yeah.
Lakshmi.
Yep.
No, can you please explain once again?
No, this is from the original order date. For my understanding, I created these many columns.
See, I'll tell you. I'll explain this
Yeah.
from here. Okay, this is today's date, right? So today is what? Today is Friday. Okay. So today is Friday over here. Now, if I ask you that what was the date? What was the date in this week? So what was the date where I'm saying that starting week is from Monday? So what was that date? So I'm saying my week starts from Monday. So I want to capture the starting week date. So what is the starting week date of this particular date? Right. So if I show you calendar, right? So I'm saying my week starts from Monday. Okay. So if I'm in this week, so what will be my week start date? 14th.
14.
Yes. I think
Yeah.
one of you mentioned like who didn't understood it. Yes, please. Hello. I'm sorry, no, I missed the name. Like who asked that question right now?
Divya.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're doing is we are saying that okay, this is the starting week 40. If I go to the next week, so in this week my starting week will be 21st. So I want to bring the date of 40. So how many days ahead I am? I am 1, 2. I am 4 or 5 days
5
ahead.
days.
So 5 days, right? So what I
Yeah.
do is basically in this Power BI we have a function which we call it as the weekday, right? Weekday. Now this is my date. Now I'm extracting. I'm seeing the numbering should start from Monday now. I'm starting the numbering from Monday. It will give the output as that Monday as 1, Tuesday as 2, Thursday, Wednesday as 3, and Friday will be 5. Correct? This is clear. This numbering.
Yeah, got it.
Yes.
Right? Now, if I subtract this from this, if I subtract 5 days from here, so this date, if I say from this date, I subtract this, I subtract 5. What I get 13th of June. I get 13th of June. But what was my date on Monday? 14th of June.
14.
Right? So that is
Yeah.
why I just, to stabilize the formula, I add 1 to it. So that gives me 14th June. Now the beauty of this is like if you see over here, if I put yesterday's date, that is 17th, still the week start date remains the same because I entered yesterday's date, so this number changed. This number is getting subtracted from this date, and I'm adding +1 to it for us to get the starting date because it is taking me 1 day back. Now clear?
Yeah.
Third.
Okay.
Okay, guys. This is where I think we'll take a pause.
Yeah, Amit, can you share some more assignments?
Yeah, I'll do that. So maybe in little time, maybe not right away, but in
Yeah.
next 2-3 hours, I will share.
And is it anywhere a hint like where we need to go for measures and calculated columns? Because I'm clear with measures and calculated columns. If it is for row by row calculations, I can go for calculated columns, and some aggregation related stuffs I can go to measures. Is there any other hint likewise so that we could understand better?
And you want some material?
Yeah,
Right,
because you said it will come via practice, but since we are all in the beginning stage, right, we want to differentiate when and where we need to use measures and calculated columns.
I'll share the assignments so that you get more idea on that. For that, I'll show you this.
Okay, because for this start of week, I was scratching my head for more than an hour for simple thing.
But you're really in that entire process, but still you're able to get it. So that's the best.
Yeah.
Thing.
Okay, because I was comparing this with this, and if I subtract Monday's data with Sunday's data, then all data would be wrong. So I created each and every calculated column separate, then I analyzed. Yeah, for that reason only, I'm asking more assignments. We need that actually.
Oh, I'll do that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the session, Amit. Then. Yeah.
Thank you for
Bye.
the session, Amit. Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.